poor, orphaned, uneducated. No one believed in him, but he had an obsession, an idea so powerful it would change the world forever. This is the story of Henry Ford, the boy who ran away from a farm and put the world on wheels. Long before Tesla, Toyota, or Volkswagen, there was a man who dreamed of putting a car in every home. They called him crazy. They fired him from his own company, and yet he succeeded. Henry Ford was born on July 30th, 1863, on a remote farm in Michigan. He was the oldest of 6 siblings. His father, William Ford, wanted him to inherit the farm, but Henry knew from childhood. "I never loved the farm. Only my mother on the farm," he would say, years later. School wasn't his place either. He didn't love books, but he did have an obsession, understanding how things worked. At age 12, he suffered the first great blow of his life. His mother died, and the void she left changed Henry forever. In the midst of grief, his father gave him a gift that would mark his destiny, a pocket watch. He took it apart. He studied it. He put it back together. Soon, he became the town's watchmaker. A year later, he saw a steam engine for the first time. It was love at first sight. That moment didn't just blow his mind, it transformed him forever. In 1879, at just 16, he left everything behind and walked toward the city that would change his fate, Detroit, with no money, no degrees, only one obsession: understanding machines. Detroit was alive with smoke, steel, and engines. By day, he worked as a mechanic. By night, he repaired watches for a few coins. He slept little, but he learned fast, and everything changed when he took a night shift as an engineer at the Edison Illuminating Company. There, he learned something that transformed him, the language of electricity, and with that knowledge, he ignited his dream. He built his first gasoline engine. And in 1896, his first car was born, the quadricycle. 4 wheels, a steering wheel, and a dream. But there was a problem. It had no brakes, no reverse gear, no cooling system. It was literally a suicide car. And yet, it was the first step towards something that would move the entire world. In 1899, he founded his first company, the Detroit Automobile Company. He had capital, he had partners, he had a dream, but the dream would not last. Ford demanded perfection. The investors wanted profits. Every decision fueled more tension, and every new idea sparked conflict. Technical problems soon arose. Parts were delayed. Production stalled. Only 20 cars rolled off the line in 2 years. And before long, he was fired from his own company. But instead of giving up, Ford saw it differently. To him, failure was not the end. Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. He returned to his roots: speed. He became a race car designer, seeking one thing above all: respect. And he got it. His car defeated the national champion in a race everyone thought impossible. Henry didn't just win, he regained credibility. And though he had already failed twice, every fall was just part of the warm-up. In 1901, he tried again. He founded a new company, the Henry Ford Company. But the past caught up. Investors wanted control. They brought in a replacement, Henry Leland. Ford felt betrayed, humiliated, and he resigned. That company, years later, would be called Cadillac. After 2 failures, Henry Ford tried once more, but this time he would do it his way. In 1903, with just $28,000 and a dream bigger than any engine, he launched Ford Motor Company. 5 years later, in 1908, the world would meet the car that changed everything: the Model T, a simple car, sturdy, affordable, While others sold luxury, Ford sold mobility. But what truly made him unstoppable was not the car. It was how he built it. One day, Henry Ford walked into a slaughterhouse. He saw something that chilled him. Meat, cut in series, step by step, without pause. A perfect line of crimson. It was a brutal image, but in his mind, he didn't see blood. He saw cars. What if automobiles were made like this? Piece by piece, movement after movement, without stopping. That idea thus sparked the assembly line, and with it, the dawn of the modern automobile era. He invented a system that reduced assembly time from 12 hours to just 90 minutes. The world would never be the same. The results were explosive. Millions wanted one. And for the first time, a car was truly for the common man, not just the wealthy. In 1914, Henry Ford did something that seemed insane. He doubled his workers' wages, $5 a day, twice what any worker earned at the time. The nation called him mad. Companies mocked him. They said this would drive him straight to bankruptcy. But the opposite happened. He paid double and profited triple. Employee turnover plummeted. Productivity soared. And something entirely new was born. The middle class. Without college degrees, without titles, just vision. Henry Ford didn't just build cars. He built the future. But even geniuses make mistakes. After conquering the world with the Model T, Henry Ford made his greatest error, clinging to the past. While rivals like Chevrolet innovated with more comfortable, stylish, modern cars, Ford insisted on producing the same model. Years passed. The world changed, but the Model T remained unchanged. Sales began to fall. Competition overtook him. The world evolved, but Ford did not. The very engineers who once admired him now saw him as an obstacle. Even his son Edsel pleaded for a change of course, but Henry wouldn't listen. Until in 1943, the hardest blow arrived. His son, Edsel Ford, died of stomach cancer. He was only 49. It was sudden, brutal, and with him went the last voice that could have made him change. Devastated, Henry retook control of the company, but he was no longer the same. Harder, more stubborn, more alone, frozen in time. For a man who had revolutionized the future, standing still became his greatest defeat. Henry Ford did not invent the automobile. That was the work of others, but what he did invent was something that changed the entire world. He invented a way to build cars for everyone, not just the rich. He created a production line capable of doing in minutes what once took days, a system so efficient that even today it's replicated in every corner of the globe. He founded a company that still moves millions. But beyond the money, he left something far greater, a mindset, a legacy. More than that, he sparked an industrial revolution. The world we know today rolls on the legacy of a man who refused to give up. It's not just about building cars, it's about moving the world. If Ford had never failed, he would never have learned. If he hadn't been rejected, he would never have revolutionized in anything. Because sometimes, what breaks you is what builds you. He died in 1947, but his legacy lives on. Today, Tesla, Toyota, Volkswagen, all use ideas he imagined in an era without the internet, without electricity in every home, armed only with an obsession. Was he a genius? A tyrant? You decide. But one thing is clear. Without him, the world would be slower and infinitely more boring. And if this story inspired you, subscribe. Because here on DRAKONOMIC, we don't just tell success stories. We show you how the empires that move money, business, and the world are built. Now tell me in the comments, what surprised you most about this story?